I denna lektionen ska vi prata om partikelverb. And you know what? We're gonna do it in English and Swedish. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. So particle verbs, what are they? Let me give you a quick example. Give versus give up. So you have give and give up. Give, you give something, and give up, you give up. Okay, I give up. I'm done. Jag ger och jag ger upp. Okej? Okay? Ger och ger upp. Och jag har faktiskt gjort I've made a little table here of some things that I think are important to look at. So I want to explain with 4 different particle verbs what you can do with them, how you can use them, and yeah, look at this. Let's have a look here. So det här är partikelverbet. This is the particle verb, or in English you can say a phrasal verb. Okay. Here we look at the verb with a prefix. Verb med prefix. Okay. And then we have an adjective that is made out of the verb. Okay, so this is a perfect particip, we call it in Swedish. It can also be presens particip, and we will look at that, okay? So let's get to the first thing first. Let's get to. Yeah, let's get to. What does that mean exactly? Låt oss få till, get to. Get to, it doesn't mean get, it means get to. It means get to something, get to a place. It's not get. You see, that's a particle verb. Get has one meaning, get to has a different meaning. It uses the original form of the verb, but you add a particle that changes the meaning of the verb. Okay? And in Swedish, we have a lot of this. In English, we have a lot of this. And in all the Germanic languages, you have tons of particle verbs. This makes these languages tricky in a way, you know? So you have to, you can construct many verbs from one original verb. You can construct many different meanings and use them in many different ways. So it makes sense to learn prefixes, prepositions. So let's have a look here. Jag ger upp. I give up. Ger upp. Yeah? Give up. That's surrender, right? Surrender. Surrender. So that's a Latin word. I think. I haven't thought about that much, but sur is under, right? And render is something else. So surrender. Yeah? Ger upp. But then we have another verb here, which is uppge. Okay? And originally they share a similar meaning or same meaning. But today we use uppge in a different way in Swedish. Uppge is to give up information, to give your information about something. Uppge ditt namn, give your name, like share your name. Uppge. Uppger uppgifter, like to give your information or to give uppgifter. Yeah, that's information in this case. It's also tasks, but not in this. When you uppger uppgifter, it's to give information. Okay, so that's a verb with a prefix. So sometimes they can have the same meaning, but sometimes they don't. Okay, let's have a look. This is the adjective made out of the verb, ger upp, uppgiven. Okay, so that is when you are feeling hopeless, or that you have, you're given up upon. You have nothing more to. Well, you feel hopeless, basically. Uppgiven. Okay, you feel like people have given up on you. uppgiven. So you can make a an adjective out of the verb. All right, let's continue. Well, let's look at tycker om. Tycker om, this is a very common verb in Swedish. You know, gillar, tycker om, like. Tycker om. Tycker on its own means to have an opinion about something. To think, in English you say think. We say tycker, tänker, tror in Swedish, which is to believe or to have an opinion or to think about something. So tycker is to have an opinion about something, okay? But tycker om, you add this preposition om, which means about normally, but now with this, you know, I think or my opinion about something, but normally this is a good, I like something, I have a good opinion about something, unless you say jag tycker inte om, which is I don't like, obviously. So you see, you stress the particle. That's how you can identify the particle verbs in context. When you listen to a podcast, or you watch a series or a movie, or you're reading, well, when you're reading, that's trickier because you need to stress it on your own. You need to figure out, is this actually a particle verb? If you understand every word in a sentence but you don't understand the meaning, well, maybe it's a particle verb. Look at the verb, and then look if there is a particle, a preposition coming afterwards. Then you can suspect that it's a particle verb, and it has a different meaning. The whole sentence means something else. So look at that. You know, try to give it two different meanings, translate it in two different ways, in your language, into your language, and find out if it's a particle verb or not. Okay? Tycker om. Tycker om. Ge upp. So if you say tycker om, if you say, what do you think about this? Vad tycker du om det här? What do you think about this? Vad tycker du om det här? Compared to if you say, jag tycker om, or tycker du om det här? Do you like this? Tycker du om det här? Okay? So you listen to if the particle is stressed. Here, verb with a prefix, so it would be like omtycker. Omtycker. That's not really a verb that we have in Swedish. Omtycker. We don't say that. I have never heard of it, and I don't find it when I search for it. So that's a bar, streck. But there's an adjective that you can make out of tycker om, which is omtyckt. Somebody is liked. Han är omtyckt. He is liked. Han är omtyckt. Ja. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Number three. Number three. This is, by the way, the first video lesson that I do like this in Swedish and English. So let's see how this turns out. Tar med. Ta med. Okay. Ta med. It's to take with. Ta med means in Swedish to bring. Bring something with you. So ta med. But if you say ta med, for example, let's say, all right, pick this up with gloves on. Ta det här med handskar på. Okay? Ta det med en nypa salt. Ta med en nypa salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Ta det med en nypa salt. Okay? Ta med. They both are in that sentence. But you can say, ta med dig varma kläder. Bring warm clothes. That's a very common thing. You know, when you look at an event or an invitation to something that is outside, which many things are in Sweden, for example, they say, ta med varma kläder. Bring warm clothing. Because it's a good thing. Ta med. include this into the message. Ta med det här i meddelandet. Include a picture of yourself. Ta med en bild i meddelandet, i e-mailet till exempel. And then you have medta. Is a particle, is a verb with a particle. Medta. Medta, it's maybe more formal way to say ta med. Medta, if you read an invitation, you can say medta varma kläder eller medta medta, well, it's a good question in my mind right now. What is a good suitable sentence? Medtag, ja, varma kläder. Kan det stå i en inbjudan. It can say that in an invitation. Medta mat. And then you have medtagen, which is the adjective perfect particip. Medtagen, for example. You can say in a cafe, you know, food that is brought with you is not allowed to be eaten here. Medtagen mat är inte tillåten. So, brought food is not allowed. Medtagen mat är inte tillåten på det här kaféet. Which makes sense. You know, if you have a cafe and you're a business owner, you don't want anybody else to bring their own food and eat in your restaurant. Doesn't make any sense. Well, medtagen mat, icke. Okay? Gå på. Gå på. Well, this is a funny one, I think. Gå på is to get tricked or to get fooled, or you know, somebody is maybe pulling a prank on you, or they are trying to trick you in a way, and you buy it. Du går på det. Du går på det. You go on it. Like you went on that trickery, let's say. So gå på. Okay? But then you have pågå. Pågå. So you have the prefix or the preposition in front of the verb. And this is very similar to English, like ongoing. What is something that is ongoing? What is going on here? Vad pågår här? What is going on here? Vad pågår här? And then you have the adjective pågående. So this is a presens participle. It's a present tense participle. So pågående, this is equivalent to ongoing in English. Okay? If this would be a perfect participle in Swedish, it would be pågången. Pågången, which does not exist. So that would be a bar. What I want to show you with this is that sometimes they have the same meaning. Ger upp, uppger, which has the same meaning, but this uppger has multiple meanings. Tycker om does not have, you cannot say omtycker, doesn't exist. Ta med, medtar, they have the same meaning. Går på and pågår, they have different meanings. They don't mean the same thing. I want to show you that this happens in Swedish a lot. That's why it makes sense to learn the verbs, first of all. And, you know, in Swedish, it's very nice that we don't have that many, we don't do personal conjugations. So, for example, I go, you go, she goes, he goes, and so on, right? In English, you have two. I go, she goes. Well, in Swedish, it's all the same. Han går, jag går, vi går, de går, alla går. Okay? That's nice because in Latin languages, like in Spanish or French, you have many conjugations for verbs. In Swedish, we don't have many conjugations, but we do have partikelverb. Verbs with particle, with a preposition most of the time that comes after the verb, that changes the whole meaning of the verb, okay? So pay attention to this. Ask ChatGPT, give me a list of the particle verbs. I do that all the time. It's a great way to, well, they're not always correct. ChatGPT is not always correct about everything, but it's a great way to see what is there. You can also Google it. There is on Wikipedia and Wiktionary, and there are many places where you can find particle verbs. You can also learn them with me. I can teach you more about particle verbs and how to use them and how to not use them and so on. Or you can go with any other teacher to do that. But spend some time learning about particle verbs. It makes sense. Okay? Super. Tack så mycket. Vi ses i nästa lektion. I like this. This was good. This was fun. It was, I feel a bit weird to speak like this on my own to do a class because it's the first time, I guess. But it's cool. I like it. So, vi ses nästa gång. See you next time.